everybody. Hope everyone's doing well. I have a video request that I'm going to be doing in a couple seconds. But first off, I wanted to quickly mention how I got an email from YouTube saying that reviewers had gone through my channel and noticed multiple videos that were in conflict with the guidelines for posting and therefore demonetized. So I think that's interesting because this is one of those niche areas that only certain people actually go and look at, which also means that monetization isn't a huge issue with having the channel. It's not a motivation. And I was blown away. So I'm not sure if it's because of the more strict guidelines, which is ironic because you can still see pretty much anything on YouTube. Yeah, so I was pretty blown away on that one. Anyways, getting into the video request. This one was from Jonathan Dela Cruz. So thanks for putting this on or requesting this. And it's actually something that everyone can deal with on some level or another. And this is regarding ghosting. So his in particular was regarding going on a date with an INTJ, thought he had a great, or they had a great time. And she was texting like normal afterwards, and all of a sudden didn't text him again. And he's wondering what's going on. So first off, I have to give a caveat that obviously as an older generation, we don't put as much stock into texting, but I do appreciate that if you're waiting for something and it's not coming, it's frustrating, especially when you've already had a baseline for what kind of to expect from that individual. So I was thinking of 3 different potential reasons why the ghosting was potentially happening. And I hope that for you that it's either figured out or you've moved on. But so here we go. Just looking at my notes as always. Yeah, like we said, ghosting is a tough one. No one likes to not be responded to. However, I myself, my family knows that I am notoriously horrible for getting back with texts or calls. I don't mean to, but it gets to the first point of what I'm going to try and get at, where it could be that she doesn't even register that it has been that long. Sometimes we get very focused and we are doing something and it's not a cliche trying to blow you off. They literally don't notice how much time has gone by. So weeks could go by and she doesn't realize that she's missed that text, nor does she realize that she is missing talking to you because her brain is somewhere else. It's not totally invested on the infatuation stage, I guess you could say. And doesn't mean that she doesn't like you, but it also will tie to the baseline on what you find in the future, whether or not she tends to do that often. Because then that will start showing a bit of a pattern, and then you can start making decisions for yourself if you wanted to explore it that far. Second one, I've done a video on this. We hate the phone. My family makes fun of me because I have so much data left over. We're in Canada. We can't roll our data over or share our data. So it's ridiculous because I just don't use my phone. When I look at my phone and I see 30 messages in 2 hours for texts, and some of them are LOL and all of that, and it's a waste of your data, and it's a waste of time. INTJs don't need to feel liked in order to have a conversation. Texting, phoning, mostly are to accomplish a point, trying to do something. So with that, I would suggest, if you're noticing that she's fine otherwise, instead of just texting back and forth all cute, she's going to drop the ball on that if that is her issue, not liking anything to do with phones. Instead, set you guys up for success by having it where you just text her what plans you were thinking you'd want to do and see what her availability is. So, and don't be offended if she's busy that day, but if not, it'd be like no big deal, and propose another day. And this way, she doesn't feel the pressure of trying to make sense of someone else's emotions, as well as she feels more comfortable with you, that she can be her own person and she's not offending you over something that she isn't offended by. Now, there is a lot of thought regarding cell phone courtesy. It's definitely changed over the years, from being something that was basically keep your BlackBerry in your purse or your pocket while you're out for dinner, to now everyone's on their cell phones and it's totally acceptable. INTJs don't do that. If we're deciding to spend time with you, we are spending time with you. And that's super important. So something to keep in mind, especially if you are a person that loves just getting tons of texts in saying just absolutely nothing, or especially if you're a person that really likes social media. For myself, not a huge fan, other than what I'm doing here, but that's more for our little group. So don't read into it if that's the case. But if she's using that as an excuse, hopefully you'll be able to use your gut on seeing if you can smell out whether or not that was authentic. Third, this one could very well be the case, because I don't know how old you are. I don't know how old she is. I don't know any backstory on this. However, INTJs are great at not being emotionally mature for quite a while. So with that lack of maturity comes the inability to process intense emotions, and with that, having to take that back and take it back to themselves and really analyze it. And sometimes by the time you come up for air as an INTJ and you go and want to spend time with that person after you've thought about things, that person's already moved on, because the normal dating scheme is with females that have an F in their personality stack, and their partner or their date is used to the majority. And that's not a bad thing, but it does tend to cause issues with trying to navigate INTJs, because we aren't the same on that. Also, with regards to the emotional maturity level, she might be playing head games. And what comes with that is she doesn't know, she's not sure, and that's every person in all dating. So let's keep in mind that's just human behavior. But she might not know what she wants, and she's not comfortable enough with herself to be able just to say, you know what, it just isn't going to work. Or this was super fun, but I am just not feeling that. And because those are really difficult conversations to have for anyone. And with INTJ situations, we can handle conflict, but we can't understand the nuances that are required to have that conversation with integrity and class and respect for the other person quite until we have enough self-awareness that we are taking our own understanding of ourselves into account before we speak. So I wanted just to mention that a lot of my friends have an F. My husband is a feeler, and I always find it absolutely amazing how they are able to just come out of nowhere and succinctly say things about their feelings and not put any thought into it. It's right on the spot, and it's amazing. That is a gift that I find was really difficult even to this day to fully try and develop with myself. So depending on the age of that person, keep that in mind. All that being said, ghosting isn't fun. If there is something that you think is there that's real, call her out on it. Just be like, hey, what's up? I tried texting you, and don't make it a personal thing. Remove as much of the emotion out of it as possible. Just try and mention it as a transaction where it's like, hey, just checking in, something like that. And then again, offer up, hey, yeah, so what's up with that? She'll give her a reason. She might stutter and she might be kind of floundering for words, and not because she's lying necessarily. Watch my body language video if that's the case. But she's also probably trying to put the words together, because being put on the spot is very difficult for most people and really difficult in an emotional situation for an INTJ. So if you keep it more non-accusatory, or even half inquisitive, something that's giving a little bit of understanding for an opening to hear what they have to say, then from there you're able to see what she is going to be responding like. If she's still darting around the topic, or if you had to actually try and nail this person down somewhere in order to have that chat, that's probably a very bad sign. Actually, it is a very bad sign. And she's not worth it. So anyways, for all of those, I'd love to hear your comments, especially all of your younger folks out there, because you guys are very much into managing your life through your phone. Love to hear if anyone also from an INTJ perspective has their own thoughts on what ghosting could mean from an INTJ perspective. So as always, thanks so much for watching. And if you have video requests, please put them in the comment section. Thanks.